can I say, guys? What can I say? Wow. Wow. Wow, Bob, wow. Okay, I've seen the first four episodes now, so I will be talking about the first four episodes. My brain is fried. I will be leapfrogging around subjects. I cannot promise that this will be spoiler free. I feel like David Lynch and Mark Frost have reprogrammed my brain a little bit here. So if you haven't seen the first four episodes of the new series of Twin Peaks, here be dragons. This is the place to turn back. I saw the first couple of episodes in very strange circumstances. I was away on a business trip, so I downloaded the first two. I watched them in a hotel room the morning after the night before. Then there was a flight home, and my girlfriend had watched the first episode back home the night before. So I rewatched episode 2 that evening, and then 3 and 4, sort of exhausted from the trip and the flight, but almost as though I'd been fucking jacked back up on adrenaline, and then to bed, to sleep, with some of the craziest dreams. And I know I'm not alone. I know from message boards all over the internet that people have been having crazy weird dreams about what we've just witnessed after 26 years more Twin Peaks. I didn't love all of it, but I think probably the most pertinent first question, and I've read lots of reviews and I've read lots of commentary, and holy shit is this divisive. Some people are loving it. Some people are loathing it. And so the first and most pertinent question, I guess, is what did you expect? What did you expect? I didn't expect that fucking Twin Peaks was coming back, for one. So what did you expect? More of the same? Some people wanted more of the same. It's not Twin Peaks. This isn't like Twin Peaks. How is Twin Peaks going to survive in a TV landscape that Twin Peaks helped to usher in, to help shepherd in this new golden age of television? We're all so much more savvy now because of what Twin Peaks did and its imitators afterwards. Imitators, never emulators. And now Lynch and Frost are back. And all the articles I've read keep talking about David Lynch this and David Lynch that. And yes, he is, and you will excuse the pun, a linchpin in this entire affair. Mark Frost is getting left to one side. So I'm talking about Lynch and Frost. And everyone assumes that all of the fucking Black Lodge stuff on all of the surrealism is David Lynch, and Mark Frost anchored him down and kept the narrative. No one knows. No one knows what the division of labour was between those two gentlemen, except for those two gentlemen. Mark Frost published this before season 3 aired. The Secret History of Twin Peaks. Is it vital? Is it necessary to have read this to get as much out of season 3 as you possibly? I don't know. I don't know any of these answers. But I've started with what Ron Burgundy would call a glass case of emotion. I mean, holy shit. Holy shit. I suspected that this might expand now beyond the boundaries of Twin Peaks. I mean, certainly Evil Dale is free and out. By the way, everyone's saying how obtuse it is and how slippery and difficult to get. Oh, it's just Lynch being Lynch. Did it not basically answer all of the lingering leftover questions, all of the main questions left over at the end of season 2? Did it not just fucking straight up answer all of those straight away? Cooper's still in the lodge. Evil Dale is still out in the world. Okay, now there's a little fudging around whether he's a doppelganger now or whether he's Bob. I'm assuming that that's because Frank da Silva has passed. So the notion of what Bob was and is has become malleable. Personally, I think pretty much all the aspects of the lodges should remain impermanent, malleable, changeable. As soon as we figure we've got a handle on those, oh, I know what the ring does. As soon as you've got the ring, eventually your arm goes numb, you're visited by Bob, and then you're marked out either for future possession or death, right? So every time we see the ring, that's what that... Wrong. Every time someone's possessed by Bob, this happens, and you see him in the mirror, and that means... No, forget all about that. Chill out. Don't worry about having to understand all of that. As soon as we know the rules of these worlds, they become boring. They just become part of a normal TV narrative. So any sidesteps he has to make around people who can't or won't or shouldn't be allowed to return, we're going to get something like the evolution of the arm. We're going to get the arm's doppelganger, non-existent. One of the most WTF moments in all 4 episodes. I'm rambling again. Let's talk about that glass case. Surely, not only a commentary on, but instant antidote to the notion of Netflix and chill. What's on the box? Nothing. Okay, let's make out then. There are a couple of times, there was an instance in the first episode and an instance in the second episode where I openly wept. I've had personally a very difficult couple of weeks. I had to say goodbye to my faithful hound, my Dalmatian, who's been my dear friend for 14 years, and so as I say goodbye to one friend, I find myself welcoming an old friend from 25 years ago back unexpectedly in an unexpected new form. And I'm going to make no apologies if I get emotional talking about the emotional parts of the series. David Lynch can tap in not just to the sense of the absurd, not just to the sense of the surreal, the subconscious, the dreamlike, the terrifying, the numinous, the existential. He knows how to get straight to your heart as well. And I'd known that Miguel Ferrer had, before he passed, recorded some scenes. I knew we were going to get Albert. I'd either forgotten or it was a present, it was a surprise. I hadn't realised that Catherine Coulson, I hadn't realised she was going to be in it. And I was so pleased when the log lady turned up. Margaret, as Hawke calls her, to the respect of calling her by her name rather than the nickname that the town knows her by, that she couldn't give two stuffs about. It's right and proper that it's Margaret that sets the wheels in motion to get Hawke to find Cooper. If you remember in the original run of the show, Dale says, if ever I'm missing, I hope they send you to find me. And Margaret set him on the right course. And it was wonderful to see her. And I'm sure that Hawke's going to get him back. Cheers. Philip Jeffries is proving to be enormously important to the ongoing world building and progression of this story. Now, just spitballing, just thinking out loud, we've had official word that Bowie was too ill to participate in this. And from what we've seen of the story so far, I don't think it's going to be necessary for him to be there. But after seeing Catherine Coulson, are we sure? Are we sure that Bowie's not going to be in this? I mean, it would just be like Lynch and Frost, and it would be just like Bowie to pull off this coup de théâtre. I'm not holding my breath. I'm going to take them at their word. I would lose my shit if he turned up. Philip Jeffrey is a mover and a shaker in this in ways I never imagined. This is reaching back into Fire Walk with Me in ways I never imagined. Now, Fire Walk with Me took an awful lot of fire, an awful lot of flack when it came out. That wasn't Twin Peaks. It was never supposed to be Twin Peaks. I didn't like it when I first watched it because it wasn't Twin Peaks. I thought it was Lynch being needlessly perverse, leaving the series hanging with so many threads and on such a cliffhanger. We'll make a prequel instead. I've since, along with many other people, reevaluated. Firewalk with Me is probably his masterpiece. Cheryl Lee's performance in that is one of the greatest screen performances of all time. Flat out. I'll fight you if you disagree.